Pastor Johnson was cleaning the church basement when he found an old suitcase. Inside were 127 letters, all addressed to the same name, Angel Dorothy. Korean War soldiers had written them 70 years ago. And that Dorothy was the 89-year-old woman who sat quietly in church every Sunday. But when Pastor Johnson started reading those letters, his heart stopped. The first letter: Angel Dorothy, you brought me back from death on that freezing Korean night. The second letter: Dear nurse, I was going to lose my leg, but you never gave up. The third letter: Dorothy, if it wasn't for you, I would never see my wife and children again. 127 letters, 127 different soldiers, 127 lives. And they all said the same thing: this woman was an angel. But Dorothy Williams had never told anyone about any of this. For 70 years she had sat quietly in church, arranged flowers, never bragged. Pastor Johnson opened the last letter with trembling hands. Angel Dorothy, if you're reading this letter, I want you to know, you weren't just a nurse, you were our hope. Welcome to the last stand. Did anyone in your family serve during the Korean War? Share their experiences in the comments. Dorothy Williams was the most beloved 89-year-old neighbor in Millbrook. Every morning she'd wake up at the same time, tend to her garden flowers, and go to St. Mary's Church in the afternoon. Her neighbors called her Aunt Dorothy and asked for her advice when they were sick because she knew so much about medical matters. But nobody had ever asked why. Dorothy had been repeating the same routine for 40 years. Every Sunday she'd sit in the same pew, arrange flowers after service. The only strange thing was that she always attended military funerals. She'd stand quietly in the back, never letting anyone see her tears. Pastor Johnson was doing spring cleaning in the church basement when he found an old leather suitcase in the corner. It had a faded label, D. Williams, 1953. Curious, he opened it and found hundreds of letters inside. One envelope read, Angel Dorothy, 3rd MASH Unit, Korea. Pastor opened the first letter. Dear Angel Dorothy, I'm Private Tommy Henderson, 19 years old, from Texas. I don't know how to thank you. I was going to lose my leg. The doctor said there's nothing we can do. But you didn't give up. You stayed by my side for 6 hours, held my hand, talked to me. You're going home, Tommy. Your mother is waiting, you said. I cried, but you stayed strong. Here I am, 50 years later. I'm walking on both legs. I got married, had 3 kids. You're my angel. Tommy Henderson, 1993. Pastor's hands were shaking. He opened the second letter. Dear Dorothy, I'm Corporal Robert Martinez. Christmas night, 1952. I was freezing to death. You came. You played Christmas carols on your little radio. You sang Silent Night with me. That night, you became my mother. You smelled like my mother back home. Now, I'm a grandfather. I have 8 grandchildren. Every Christmas we remember you. Robert Martinez, 1995. The third letter was longer. Dearest Angel Dorothy, I'm Michael Anderson from Minnesota. I was 18, dying from hypothermia. You took off your own sweater and gave it to me. You stayed by my side all night. You rubbed my hands to give me warmth. Don't give up, Michael, you said. That sweater was a mother's love. Now I'm a retired teacher. I taught children for 40 years. You gave me the joy of living. Michael Anderson, 1998. Pastor was crying. 127 letters. Each one a different life, a different thank you. The next day, Pastor took Dorothy to his office, showed her the suitcase. Dorothy went pale when she saw it. Did you open it? Yes, Dorothy. I read 127 letters, all written to you. Dorothy covered her head with both hands. Please don't tell anyone. I was just doing my job. Dorothy, these letters are incredible. 127 soldiers say you saved their lives. Dorothy started crying. For the first time in 70 years, she was crying about that past. I was 19 in 1951. Dorothy said. Korean War had started. I was sent to 3rd MASH Unit. Wounded came every day. 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. I tried to be a mother to them, because their mothers were waiting at home. Dorothy stopped, wiped her eyes. I remembered Tommy. 19 years old, his leg was dying from gangrene. I massaged it for 6 hours. This kid is going to run in Texas, I said. I remember Robert, too. That Christmas night was so cold. I held him in my arms, stroked his hair. I gave Michael my own sweater. My mother had knitted it. Pastor Johnson called the Korean War Veterans Association. "You found Angel Dorothy?" said the coordinator. "We've been looking for her for 5 years. 3rd MASH unit veterans always ask about her." Within 24 hours, dozens of veterans started calling. Tommy Henderson from Texas, Robert Martinez from California. "I'm that Tommy, the one whose leg she saved. I'm 70 now, have 3 kids. They all exist because of her," he called crying. The association organized a big honor ceremony. Media wanted to cover it, but Pastor refused. This is Dorothy's special moment. A ceremony for 200 people was planned. Only veterans, their families, and townspeople were invited. Dorothy wasn't nervous. "I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything, Dorothy. Just be there." St. Mary's Church was packed. When Dorothy entered, everyone stood up. Applause lasted for minutes. Elderly veterans sat in the front rows, 80-90 years old, but their eyes sparkled like children. Tommy Henderson came first, now 89, white-haired. "Angel Dorothy?" Dorothy recognized him. "Tommy? Tommy from Texas?" Tommy started crying, hugged Dorothy. "You're my angel. I've been looking for you for 70 years. Tommy, how's your leg?" "Good. I can still run. Thanks to you." Robert Martinez came. 92 years old, in a wheelchair. "I'm Robert. Robert from that Christmas night." Dorothy bent down, held his hands. "Robert, do you still sing that Christmas carol?" Robert started singing Silent Night. Dorothy joined in. The whole church listened. Michael Anderson came from Minnesota. He had a package. "What's this?" "Open it." Inside was a hand-knitted sweater. "I became a teacher thanks to you. When I retired, I learned to knit. I knitted this sweater for you." Dorothy pressed the sweater to her chest. "Michael, this is beautiful." The association representative spoke. Dorothy Williams served in Korean War 1950, 1953. She saved 127 wounded soldiers. She mothered every soldier, gave hope to every wounded. Thanks to you, 127 families were reunited. Dorothy stood up to speak. "I just did my job. These children were like my own kids. I love them because they had mothers at home. Tommy, Robert, Michael, I remember all of you. If I was able to help you, this was God's gift to me. You call me an angel, but you're the real angels. You fought for your country." I just held your hand. The whole church stood up. Applause lasted for minutes. The 127 letters were read one by one. Each letter was a life story, a thank you. From Daniel, "Angel Dorothy, I heard your voice in my last breath." From James, "You sang me a lullaby. I sang that lullaby to my children too." From Paul, "You gave me hope. I taught my children to give hope too." Each letter brought tears to Dorothy's eyes. Not only veterans came, but their families too. Tommy's daughter, "My father talked about you his whole life. If Angel Dorothy wasn't there, you wouldn't be born," he'd say. Robert's grandson gave a small flower. "This is from Grandpa Robert." Michael's son, "My father became a teacher thanks to you. I became a teacher too." Dorothy went home, but everything had changed. Neighbors now called her Angel Dorothy. The townspeople showed more respect, but Dorothy remained the same humble woman. Every morning she tended her garden, went to church in the afternoon. Now new letters came from veterans. The Korean War Veterans Association decided Dorothy Williams Memorial Garden would be built. Dorothy objected, "I'm not dead yet." Veterans insisted, "This is for all Korean War nurses." The garden was built. In the center were 127 stones, each representing a soldier. A big stone read, "To Angel Dorothy and all Korean War nurses, love is the greatest medicine." Dorothy is now 91. She gives advice to young nurses. A young nurse asked, "How could you love so many patients?" "Because I never saw them as patients. I saw my own children in them. Every patient is someone's child." "How do you stay so humble?" "Because I was just a tool. The real power was in them. I just accompanied them." At 91, Dorothy wrote a letter herself. Dear children, I'm 91 now. I want to tell you one last thing. For 70 years I kept your letters because I felt guilty. But now I understand. I was just a tool. You were the real heroes. I just held your hand. I always loved you. Always will. Just Dorothy stories like this touch your heart. Don't forget to subscribe to the Last Stand channel. We'll continue bringing you more unforgettable hero stories every week. Dorothy Williams still lives in Millbrook at 91. Every Sunday when she sits in church, she knows love is the greatest miracle. 127 letters, 127 lives, 127 thank yous. Angel Dorothy was love itself.